Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the managing director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, it's basically me posing the question, why does the public keep getting blamed for the situation, the pandemic? And why am I saying that? Well, I've quoted a number of articles going all the way back into April talking about, officials, government officers, spokespeople that constantly seem to come out. There's one video where a child psychologist came out and was talking, I think it was in the Bangkok Post, about how Thais can't control themselves. And sort of the implication was we're all a bunch of children, And then another video we did, I was discussing an article, I think again in the Bangkok Post, that was talking about, the spokesperson for the CCSA came out and said that people unmasked playing cards on the back of their trucks was somehow this terrible violation that, seemed to, again, the implication was that sort of they were at fault for the spread of this virus. And we've done videos on this channel, like I've discussed in another video, the proximate cause for the virus is the virus. The people that are in the chain of infection, especially inadvertently, people that know they have it, that's a different thing. If you intentionally or negligently infect someone else, that's something different. But if you're just in the chain of infection, just going about your life, there's not an affirmative duty on you to do anything about this. It's like trying to hold someone responsible for the wind blowing. It's too arbitrary. You can't do that. That said, and we've gone through into great detail in other videos on that. Another article from the Bangkok Post, I was reading it and I just was frankly sort of aghast at it. Article is titled, "Government was floored by variants, says WHO." And this first quote is coming from, in this article, Richard Brown, Health Emergencies Program Manager of the WHO's Thailand office. And quoting directly from the article, "There is a big responsibility for the public to apply at least the basic measures to stop infections. If everyone can do this, we can break the chain of transmission," he explained. I'm going to keep quoting. Quoting further, "Dr. Nakorn Premsri, the director of the National Vaccine Institute, admitted that the first wave measures went well because of cooperation from various sectors, particularly the government and the public." Well, what other sectors are there? The government and the public. Okay, moving on. Quoting, "No matter how good the measures are, without the backing of the public, we may face an even more serious level of contagion, as happened in other countries," Dr. Nakorn said. This is not our fault. I am tired of this. I am tired of this implication. This isn't even an implication at this point. This is, it's blaming. The public, we're the victims of this virus. I hate using the term victims. But to say that we somehow need to do something about this is it's just wrong. When I was making or thinking of making this video, and I read these passages, another big question for me is, who elected this WHO person to anything in Thailand? Okay, I understand the WHO, it's an international organization, and that's great, but I'm sorry, I don't know what this person knows about what's happened here in Thailand, but I've been here in Thailand since this all began. I have watched people consciously and intentionally shut down their own businesses for the greater good. I've watched people basically go into total destitution for the greater good, for the public good. So to see this stuff where the public gets blamed, it really upsets me. As I was saying, when I was thinking about making this video, I was thinking about a film, actually. It was a film called Leap of Faith. And it takes place in a film in Kansas, which is actually where I'm from. It's a film with Steve Martin in it. I'd urge anybody who's never seen it. It's a good movie. It's basically about a charlatan, a con man preacher who comes to this small town, and he's doing his thing, and he comes upon this kid who is disabled. He can't walk. And the kid, really wants to believe that he can walk if he has faith or whatever. And there's this point in the film where he has this older sister that the con man preacher is sort of trying to woo, and she doesn't want to have anything to do with him, and he tries to figure out why, and she finally tells him, she says, well, we took him to another one of these quote-unquote faith healer guys that, these kind of charlatan folks, and, he put him on stage, and when he couldn't walk, he said that the boy's faith wasn't strong enough. And she said, I'll never put him through that again. It psychologically destroyed him. And I thought of this when I was reading this. Again, just quoting directly, there is a big responsibility for the public to apply at least the basic measures to stop infections. How can we, the public, do anything really more than what we are doing? You're in the upper 90 percentile of mass usage. We've talked about this before. I don't know how much that really has an impact. We're fully locked down. Talked about this before. I don't know how much that has an impact. What more do you want the public to be doing at this point? Do we just freeze in place? Are we just supposed to be cryogenically frozen until a virus disappears? Quoting further, if everyone can do this, we can break the chain of transmission. How is this the public's responsibility to break this chain of transmission? How does the public destroy a virus? How does that happen? I would love it to be explained to me because I haven't seen it anywhere. And anybody that's watched my videos can tell I've been looking at this stuff. I've been researching it. How do we do it? Because everything we've done thus far has not worked. Quoting further, no matter how good the measures are, without the backing of the public, we may face an even more serious level of contagion as happened in other countries. So it's the public's fault if we face a more serious level of contagion? No, as we've said in another video, it's the virus's fault. The proximate cause of the virus is the virus itself. I'm sorry, I don't mean to get upset about this stuff, but like I said, I was just thinking of that scene in that film, and it just seems like it's like blaming the victim. And I don't understand why. I don't see what more Thailand can do at this point. And in fact, if we don't seriously consider our economy moving forward, especially in light of the fact that especially lockdowns don't seem to have had a tremendous overall impact on this disease, if we don't start looking at our economy and our economic interests, I don't see, I think we're going to be in a far worse position a year from now than we are currently.